Hello everyone and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. This week we are returning to the world of San Sequoia and I decided this week we're going to build some townhouses. Initially when I was discovering this world, I came across this 40 by 20 lot and immediately I'm like, okay, this lot is going to be perfect for either townhouses, row houses, or some condos. So with the combination of that and then these awesome new contemporary windows that we got, specifically these really cool triangle shaped ones, I'm like, yes, I want to build some contemporary townhouses and this lot is going to be perfect. Originally, when I was building these townhouses, I was kind of thinking I wanted them to be for like active seniors. But honestly, I mean, this can work for anyone. This can work for families. This can work for seniors. But I kind of had in mind, you know, those seniors that just kind of want to downsize on their house and they don't want to have to worry about taking care of a yard anymore. But obviously these places have stairs, so these have to be seniors that are active and willing to deal with going up and down stairs all the time. There are 3 of these townhouses in total, but we are only going to be furnishing the middle one. And it's just purely because I'm trying to be realistic. And if you're going to play in these townhouses, yes, you can go ahead and furnish all of them if you like and move in whoever you want. The floor plans are done for all 3, but I kind of like the idea of just, you know, moving someone in and it's kind of feeling like it's an apartment, and then it just has that feel of realism, like you're in this big building. I would love it if you could have just neighbors that you couldn't control, but we can't do that in The Sims 4. I'm gonna keep bringing that up. But yeah, I don't know. So you can do whatever you want, but the middle one is furnished and the layout is basically the first floor is the garage. So we have a main entrance and then a smaller rear entrance. And then also on that floor is the laundry room. And I thought that was kind of cool. And then you go up to the next floor and that's where all the bedrooms are. All the bedrooms. There's only 2 bedrooms. So yeah, that's kind of why I figured it's like, this might be for like active seniors because it's a good sized place, but it's not like crazy huge. So there are 2 bedrooms and then there's 3 full bathrooms. So there's 2 full bathrooms on that second floor. And then on the third floor, there's a full bathroom. And then normally I would have put the kitchen, the living room on that middle floor. But as you saw, I put in some skylights into this place and I really wanted all of that natural light to be coming into like the main living spaces. So I put the living room and the kitchen up on the top floor. Also, yes, the dining room. And then that full bathroom is also up there. So there is lots of space, but it's not like this crazy, huge place, if you know what I mean. It's a nice open floor plan on the third floor, which I really, really like. So I went very contemporary with like interior design on this too, as you'll see in a little bit. This is very much out of my comfort zone. The more kind of builds I do with this, the more comfortable I feel, but it's not my go-to like interior or exterior design preference. It's challenging, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I don't know why, I just had like something very specific in mind for this build too. From what I was imagining in my head to how it came out in The Sims isn't really what I imagined, but it's close. I actually, for once, I like the final product better than what I had in my head. It was kind of like this, I don't know, do you ever have that for anyone else that's a builder or an artist just in general? Do you have like this kind of idea in your head where it's kind of clear, but then certain things aren't? I don't know. That's how this was for me. There was like certain very specific things. And I think it was like the windows. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with the windows. And then there was like certain exterior pieces that I wanted to incorporate. And then that didn't quite happen. And then I kind of went like a different route with that. And I really like how it turned out. So yay. But okay, so talking again about I'm going to go back up to the third floor, the top floor, like the living room area. I laugh about this because I put in a telescope up there. And I don't know why, because I figured I'm like, okay, you have those awesome skylights up there, these huge windows. And it's like, I would love to have a telescope and to be able to look at the stars at night. That would be so cool. In The Sims 4, you cannot use telescopes inside, so it's only for decoration, which is disappointing. You can put it in your Sims inventory and you can take it outside, so I just kind of figured that whoever lives here likes astronomy and they're into stargazing and looking at the stars, and it's just, you know, it does add a nice decor piece, and like I said, they can take it outside and use it. But this had me kind of like laughing about this a little bit. So do we have any Sims 2 players here? For anyone that played The Sims 2, do you remember you could have a telescope in the game? And yes, we had the small ones originally with The Sims 2. And during the day, you could spy on your neighbors, which like is so cringy to me thinking about it. But okay, so in the game, you could spy on your neighbors and you had the chance that your neighbors would find out and they would come over to your house, get really angry and start slapping you. Which, like, I miss that, like, complete chaos in The Sims 2. It was great. I missed that. It was hilarious. But then I also think I would never, ever do that in real life. And don't ever do it in real life. Respect your neighbor's privacy, please. Yeah, don't be that creepy neighbor. Just don't. It just kind of had me thinking about even like Rear Window, if you ever seen that Alfred Hitchcock movie. And there's two. So there's the original and there's a remake that I know of. I really like the original. If you haven't seen it, it's black and white. If you're not a huge black and white kind of movie person, I get it, but it's really good. It's a really good movie. So yeah, that had me kind of thinking about that movie, but then I was also thinking, for me, like, I have binoculars because I like watching birds. Big surprise that I'm a bird lover and I like watching birds. And I'm always like super self-conscious and paranoid. If I ever use them in my house and a neighbor sees me using them, are they gonna think I'm spying on them? And that freaks me out. So I try not to use them in the house because I don't want to look like the creepy neighbor, because I would never do that. Like, I treasure my privacy, and I'm sure my neighbors do too. And it's like, I would never do that to someone. But yeah, that scares me that they're gonna think I'm spying on them. And it's like, honestly, they're not even great binoculars. I need to get better ones. But it's like, I don't know. I could go outside and use them, but it's not the same thing. I do have a place in the house where I can use them and everything is like pretty much blocked. So it wouldn't look like I'm spying on neighbors, which is good. But there's like other parts of the house where I couldn't. It's just in the past, I've always wondered that in like previous places that I've lived. Yeah, it's getting into springtime now, and we get all these migratory birds that come through, and a lot of them don't stick around. They're just kind of flying through, and like, I love that. It's so cool. I love seeing like all the different birds. I should have like a birdie bingo. Like, mark off all the squares and see how many birds I can see. It's relaxing. It's fun. And I think it's through, I have an app through, I think it's the Audubon Society, which is really cool because you can actually get an account and then like put in the area you live in, and you can record sightings in your area. So then other people can go onto the app and look at these different places and kind of see what birds have been in the area recently. So for someone that's like super into birding and bird watching, and you're like trying to like check off all the boxes of all the birds you see, that's kind of cool. So you kind of know where the birds are. I'm not that intense when it comes to bird watching, but I really enjoy it. And my husband and I went for a hike last week, which is like, okay, this is the other crazy thing. We've been having the most insane weather recently. Last weekend, we had a huge snowstorm and got like almost a foot of snow, and now today it's 60 degrees and there's like no snow left. We went out for a hike after we had this big snowstorm, and it was later in the afternoon, which was great because I could tell there was a ton of people that were already there. And when we went, it was super quiet, and it was great because you walk through the snow and you can like hear that crunching, and then I could hear all the spring birds. All the spring birds are starting to come back. And it was just And then the sun was starting to kind of get lower in the sky, and it was hitting the trees with all the snow melting, and it was just so pretty. And alongside the water. So it was like the best. It made me want to go winter camping. I hate the cold so much, but it was so peaceful. That might be the last time that I go out in the snow this year. We'll see, or I should say this season. We'll see. I'm so ready for spring. I'm so ready for spring. I'm done with the cold. But as we come to the end of this build, I want to explain a little bit what's going on outside. So yes, I only did the 3 townhouses. I didn't want this to be like too huge. I could have done like row houses and filled the entire lot, which would have been kind of cool. But I really wanted like a little park area on this end, since it's like surrounded by like all these different streets. So I figured either it's like a city park or it's part of like this townhouse complex. And it's just a great place for the Sims to just go outside. There's this awesome fountain that's from Debug. And then, of course, I put in bird feeders. Because, you know, it's like if you have your senior Sims living here and they want to just go outside, relax, and do some birding right outside in their backyard. I just thought that was super cute. And I would find that very relaxing, the water and the birds. And I guess that's a little bit of inspiration from my hike from last week that I'm putting in the game. With that said, we are going to let you enjoy the little bit of video left. Don't forget to stick around till the end because we're going to have a video tour coming up. But thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much. And we'll see you very soon in our next video. Bye!